Hello, everyone. This is going to be another seated prayer dance. We're going to dive right in. You can follow along. We're dancing to the mantra Sa Re Sa Sa. It is for protection as well as beating the enemy or the inner demon, the goblin, the shadow. It is basically relinquishing and removing any low vibrations within yourself, within your environment, or any sort of spiritual attack that may be going on that is disrupting your flow. And it's kind of like it bounces that whatever is being projected towards you, either it's spiritual attack, it bounces it back, right? So it creates this auric field around you where you're impenetrable, right? Just like a great yogi is very impenetrable when it comes to the density of this planet, and all its noise does not disrupt the yogi. So a part of the yogic science is that so we can have an impenetrable aura, right? We want to bring in, right? We want to bring in the nutrients, right? But we also want to create a field that can bounce out, right, any sort of toxicities that may get inside and kind of cause all sort of disruption, right? So this is a beautiful mantra for that. So the this sacred prayer dance is for the protectress, right? The protectress. And we're going to embody the protectress, which is basically to be protected, divinely protected, utterly protected, angelically protected. So just follow along. Inhale. Squeeze, root lock, chin lock, tuck the chin, the tongue on the upper palate. Exhale through the mouth, cannon breath. Inhale. Hold, cannon breath. Inhale. Squeeze everything as though you're levitating off the ground. That's how much you're squeezing the toe all the way to the finger. Exhale and relax. So that was wonderful. Seated prayer dance. As you can feel, as I'm doing, I can feel energy as though I'm energetically remodeling myself. So these sacred prayer dances, just like a form of Tai Chi, right? It is feng shui. We're energetically feng shui. We work heavy on our physical body and exercise and what we know as cardio, but we don't really work on these the subtle body or the radiant body, or we don't really work on the psyche or the energetic body. Right, and the energetic body actually, when it is massaged or worked out, it has a what we call a biophoton, and biophoton just simply means your energetic field is illuminating. So you can even go on Google and you can type in biophoton and you'll see images, scans, you can say, of a person's energetic field, kind of similar to an auric photo or aura photo, right, where you see the aura of the color, right, of somebody's temple. They're prominent, a primary, secondary, strong chakra vibration. The biophoton shows almost like electricity. It looks very much like sort of like a Nikola Tesla photo of like electricity, and we create that biophoton is electricity. So just like Tai Chi is one of the practices used for this particular biophoton research. Doing Tai Chi and then kind of scanning the body after, and research has discovered that the biophoton, which is the electricity, right, the illumination, right, electric light of the person, was more so than before, prior to the Tai Chi. So this is very much, you can say Tai Chi as well as Hawaiian dance are very much similar in the way that they work that energetic space, right? Works on the subtle body, works on the radiant body, as well as works on the aura or the electromagnetic field. And that is kind of an Eastern, what we know is like an Eastern culture. In our Western culture, we work so much on the muscle, right? We work so much on the muscle and the density, right, of our life, but we don't really work on the sort of the energetics to our density, right? So as you do this, you can do this for 11 minutes. You can just kind of keep going or repeat it, and you will start to feel some sort of energetic movement that's going on that you can't visibly see, but just know, and this biophoton reality, that there is this electrical current, right? There's electrical circuits that are going on all the time. Your heart is electrical current, as we discovered in science. Your brain is electrical current. Your thoughts kind of, they have an electrical current, and they all kind of interact with each other. So the electrical current of our heart interacts with the electrical current of our brain, right? And we know that our brain sends out these electrical currents throughout the entire body, to the blood, to the bone, to the tissue, to even the cells, right? So we can actually work on that electrical current, right? We can work on that sort of electromagnetic pool, right? So we're always magnetizing and demagnetizing energy constantly throughout the day. So, for example, when the sun is high in the sky, we're magnetizing, we can say, energy, like a reserve of energy, right? It's high, the sun is really high, so our cortisol level will be higher. So we're magnetizing in our physical body a higher cortisol level, which is like need a lot of energy kind of thing, right? Kind of muscle it out. But during the nighttime, right, the nighttime, we're lowering the cortisol level, right? When the sun is dropping and the moon is kind of rising, the body's lowering the cortisol level, so therefore our energetic reserve begins to tilt, right? Kind of like this, the sun and the moon are constantly in this rotation, they're constantly in this. We are constantly having this rotation when it comes to the rise and fall of our cortisol level, and when it comes to the electrical current. So when it comes to like we magnetize thought forms or demagnetize thought forms, that's actually an energetic an energetic penetration. Like these mantras that we do, we're penetrating the thought forms, right? And we are basically overriding thought forms, right? The thought forms, let's say, that we keep magnetizing that are not really helpful to us, right? We can penetrate it with a great pressure, such as this mantra was real pressure on the psyche, right? All of these sort of mantras are very, very pressurizing on your psyche, especially. So with that pressure, what it does is it kind of penetrates that thought form, right? Kind of breaks through into that thought form, and it overrides the entire system, because this mantra, particularly these mantras, are very, very highly charged. It's like going into like a Ganesh temple. When you go in, you all of a sudden like, whoa, like a wave, like almost like you're walking into a wave or a wall of energy, right? Have you had that experience? Or like going into like a crop circle and you feel like you're literally walking into like a highly charged area? Even like if you live or you've walked by those, what is it called? These those powerhouses, right? Those electrical houses, and you literally can feel the pressure of that electrical sort of powerhouse like hitting you, right? These mantras have that same effect. So a lot of times these mantras are so powerful in the way that like we kind of feel like very indifferent while we're in the space of it. Just like when we walk into a Ganesh temple, immediately the pressure of that highly charged space, it kind of hits us. It hits any thought form that may be kind of dominating us, and it literally, it overrides it, right? So that's kind of with the whole yogic science with mantra and sound current, right? The sound current is supposedly what we are. When we die, we become sound current. Sound current is the 11 frequency, right? We think of 10 as like the 10th gate, which is you can say we come in through life and we leave life through that 10th gate, but that 11 frequency, we know that sound is it has a velocity, has a momentum, it has a code, it has a light language. Sound is very, very powerful, right? So when we invite these mantras, right, that they're based on Sanskrit, that's their foundation, right? Very ancient light language that is very much interstellar in the way this Sanskrit is actually interstellar in it's not just on this planetary system, it's actually on multiple planetary systems. So that's what's interesting, right? English, we probably, if we go in a different planetary system, there's probably not the English language, right? But Sanskrit is what we consider a foundational root language, and that root language very much is shared with multiple planetary systems, because multiple planetary systems all kind of share a universal language, and that's sound, that's light language, that's sound code, right? So mantra is not necessarily what we call like what we think as like an English language or a French language, but it's deciphered through tapping into the energy, right? So it has an energy broadcast, and just like a dream has a broadcast, but it needs to be deciphered, and that's why it's a universal language, because it can be ciphered by many planetary systems through the consciousness or the higher intelligence of that person, because we do all share a interstellar web, we can say, of consciousness, right? And these sound currents, right, light language is a way for us to kind of tap in, right? And we can decipher it through kind of connecting with our intuition. So we can just sense, right? When we connect with our subtle body, we can kind of sense what the mantra is doing, because we feel it. We feel a certain way after chanting the mantra, right? And we can kind of, if we go deep into it, we can kind of see, okay, this mantra is creating this sort of effect on me. This mantra must be for this kind of amplification of myself, right? Either that's protection, either that's prosperity, either that's victory, either that's overcoming the enemy, the demon, whatever it is. So this is why it looks very simple, and I've made it pretty simple, the seated prayer dance, because it's something I want you to repeat, and also it's really choreography in general is very powerful for your brain, because it accesses parts of the brain that you maybe don't use, right? We get so repetitive with our thinking habits, right? But creativity, right? Creativity is not about thinking habits. Creativity is about invention, innovation, right? And innovation is about thinking rotation, right? It's about thinking contemplation, thinking reflection, right? When we reflect into the mirror, we're kind of it's almost like we're looking into a fractal image of ourselves, like looking into the many forms and the changeability of who we are. So may this bless your life, and thank you.